Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Talk with a Doc show. Today, we're talking about burnout. Now, it's a question that I ask myself a lot. It's a question that I ask a lot of women that come into our office and a lot of men as well. And we want to see what that burnt out actually looks like. So have you ever felt stuck or trapped? If the answer to that is yes, then you could be having emotional exhaustion. Do you find that it is hard to get up in the morning? Do you find that you're exhausted during the day, except for that short window of time where you feel the most energized? And a lot of you try to put in a lot of your schedule within that short period of time that you have a lot of energy. Do you find that you have no drive, no motivation, that you decrease the size of your goal or you decrease your schedule because you're just too exhausted and you feel that you lack the energy or even the stamina to achieve what's on your to-do list or to achieve your goals when we talk about it in a big picture? Do you find that you get angry or irritated very quickly? Do you find that you're less patient? Do you find that you're feeling hopeless, that you feel apathy, where you no longer really feel excited, or you no longer really feel sad, or as sad, or you're sad all the time, or perhaps you're starting to lose empathy towards people that are around you? Well, if any of those questions that I'm asking you, it's making you think, and it's making you think that yes, I have it, or maybe I do, you're not quite sure, then these are signs of emotional exhaustion. And one of the hallmarks of emotional exhaustion is being burnt out. So there are three things that are common to people who are burned out. One is emotional exhaustion, which is what I just explained to you. Another is being depersonalized, so that you keep doing the work, but you no longer really feel connected to it. You're no longer really excited about it. You just want to get from one checklist to another. Sometimes it feels like that you're a rat on that wheel and you just continue to run. You have a checklist that you need to go through, and that's pretty much it. And three is a decreased sense of accomplishment. In other words, you're getting a lot done in your day, but you feel overwhelmed and you feel like that there is a lot more that you could have done and that you didn't do, and that you're just not doing enough. It's not, and it's, guys, it's not just about the work you do. People go into jobs where they love this work. They're committed to helping people. They get a sense of meaning from what they do, but that's just not enough for them. That's a sign of emotional exhaustion and burnout. So what does an example of a burnout look like? So let's go follow someone who's burned out and let's see what that looks like. And let's see if any of that rings a bell for you. So someone who's burned out might be a middle-aged adult. So we're talking about anybody that's between their 30s to their mid 40s, or maybe even into 50s, who's got young children at home. It has relatively long commute to work and works long hours at their job, and only to come home to this loud house that demands his or her attention. They may not feel joy at their job anymore. They may feel unclear about what their responsibilities are, and they may feel like that they don't have a lot of downtime outside of work because they get home and now there's a different set of things that must be accomplished when you're at home. He or she may struggle to sleep through the night, so they may wake up multiple times, or they may have very light sleep, so they don't actually get into a deep sleep, and they lack the opportunity to relax, to exercise, or even to hang out with friends. Millennials also seem to be more susceptible to burnout because of factors like increasing cost of living, trouble finding reliable work, debt, and social media pressures that adds to everyday anxiety. So what are some common signs of burnout? So let's go through this, and I want you to think about if any of that applies to you. You're always feeling tired, and that was me, yes, which can lead to low motivation to work, exercise, or socialize. I felt like there was a point where I felt like I needed a nap in order to be able to continue the rest of my day. You'll find that you're being more irritable, impatient, cynical, or you're more critical than usual. So you see the worst in the situations, you see the worst in people. You're feeling like that you cannot concentrate, you can't be productive. You're not feeling excited or satisfied that by things that makes you usually happy. For example, for me, that was my coffee in the morning. If that wasn't making me excited anymore, or my yoga sessions were not making me excited anymore, or I was trying to find excuses not to go out with friends because it wasn't exciting anymore, anymore. It was just another thing that was burning my time because I didn't have a chance to relax. So if that is you, then we're looking at that burnout and we're looking at that emotional exhaustion. And you find that you cannot concentrate or be productive. You feel you're not feeling excited or satisfied. As I said, that things that makes you usually happy. You're feeling anxious. You feel like you lack control over important aspects of your life, such as your job, or most importantly, your schedule. You're struggling to get restful sleep. You're using food, drug, or alcohol to cope and to lift your mood. Dealing with symptoms tied to stress, like you're starting to have tension headaches, you're starting to have stomach aches, or you're starting to have muscle tension. And in some cases, developing more serious health concerns that are tied to chronic stress if it's not addressed, like insomnia, like alcohol or substance abuse, like high blood pressure, like obesity, like diabetes, or poor immune function. So if you're gaining weight, if you're losing weight, if you can't sleep, you're tired all the time, you cannot concentrate, you're not as productive, where before you used to get certain things done very quickly, you're not able to focus to get those things done. This means that you are burnt out. So what are some of the things that can cause being burned out? Did you know that social media actually contributes to this warped perception of our lives? And this could be one of the reasons why we're feeling burned out. We are constantly bombarded with images of people with perfect houses, perfect bodies, even though we know logically that it may not be that way, but this is what we're seeing visually. It's posed, it's staged, it's fake, we know it, but we're still exposed to it. And here's the secret. No one looks like that. No one lives like that. It's all a lie, but it's being held out to you, held before you and over and over and over again. And the purpose of this is to tell your subconscious, it's pretty much brainwashing us, conditioning us to believe that this is the expectation that you must meet. And it's a lie, my friend. And you can set your own set of goals, and there's literally no pressure from any forces outside that really matters that you have to conform to. So then my next question would be, all right, in order for us to be able to complete our stress cycle, to be able to deal with this emotional issue, we have to be able to prioritize things like sleep and relaxation. But before we go there, I want to still speak to emotional connection and emotional interaction. The media of connection doesn't matter because sometimes we think that social media is not going to allow us to connect to other people, or phone or FaceTiming does not allow us. But having a personal connection is actually really important to our sense, to our emotional exhaustion. So it does, and connection doesn't have to be in person necessarily. For example, people who've been through trauma and often don't feel safe with other people, for them a connection with an animal or out going for a walk in the woods, which is what we're going to talk about, exercise, and feeling a connection with nature is a thing that allows the brain to relax. So another thing is our brain doesn't know the difference between something that we're experiencing in our imagination versus in the real world. So when you read a book and your heart races and you're excited about what's going on in the story, that's your body responding to an actual stimulus. And that's not made up. That's your body actually having that feeling. So the medium doesn't matter, because when people come together and work together, there's an exchange of energy. And that's greater than the sum of its part. So how do we complete a stress cycle that we've been through? How can we complete a stress cycle? You need to find things in order for us to come out of this entire burnt out situation. We really need to find things that we really loved to do. So things as a kid that made us so excited, that we were so obsessed with, that it felt so great, because maybe that's a thing that was completing the stress response cycle for us. And we want to try those things first and see if you can recognize what's happening in your body. And if you start to see that that's taking your stress down a notch when you do it, then you're on the right track. And eventually, in a few months of doing these things over and over and over again, you'll see that it really starts to feel different. So in order to help with getting rid of burnout, or A, you need to recognize it, and B, these are some of the steps. So start doing things that you love to do. Number 2 is to prioritize sleep and relaxation. It can be hard to sleep well when you're feeling stressed out or after long hours of work because you are tired, but you are still wired. But sleep deprivations only make our mood and our productivity worse. So you want to try to prioritize the sleep by heading to bed around the same time each night and aiming for 7 to 9 hours of sleep for you to feel the best. And the only thing you should really be doing in your bed is sleeping. So you shouldn't be watching TV, you shouldn't be on your phone trying to make your eyes tired so that you can go to sleep. So once you get into bed, the only thing you really need to be doing is to fall asleep. So if you go in bed and you're not sleepy, you need to get out and go do whatever it is that you need to do until you feel sleepy. And once you feel sleepy again, then you go back to bed. And you need to repeat that until that becomes a cue in your brain that when you're in your bedroom, that you need to sleep. So that's number 1. So you want to try to prioritize the sleep. And as part of your nighttime routine, you want to feel calm and you want to feel relaxed in general. Yeah, but so think about it. If you're in this stress cycle, how are we going to feel relaxed when we have this to-do list that is within our head and we are worried and anxious about what our day is going to look like tomorrow? So we want to incorporate things that are stress relieving. What are some of those activities? Well, you want to include things like meditation. You want to include things like yoga. You want to include things like reading, like journaling, or spending time outdoors. So one of my favorite things to do is to listen to an audiobook. Another favorite thing that I love to do is to do some stretches before yoga. One of the things that I love to do is write all the things that are in my head onto a notebook so I know, or put them in my phone, in my calendar, so that I don't have to worry about them and try to keep that information in my head when I'm trying to fall asleep. Now, getting regular exercise is both a stress buster and a way to enhance your sleep and your mood because it naturally lifts your mood and it makes you more tired close to bedtime. But what I don't want you to do is to exercise right before bedtime, because what that does is it boosts your energy up so that you're not feeling sleepy anymore. Another thing that you want to do is practice mindfulness and meditation. This is great. Meditation, guys, does not have to be for half an hour or for an hour. There are great apps out there that do it in 5 or 10 minutes. And no, you do not need to clear your mind immediately on your first session. You shouldn't have that expectation, but it does help you to focus on one thing. So it really helps to calm your mind. So next one is to reduce the stress with regular exercise. I touched on it before, and I'm going to touch on it again. Exercise can really boost your mood. It boosts your serotonin, and you want to try to squeeze a walk during a break at work. So what you want to say is, for example, 12 o'clock is my break at work. I know a lot of you are working from home now. Close your laptop, get out for a walk, and then come back in and eat lunch. Getting some fresh air and sunlight, or even taking a lunch break to go to the gym really, really helps. And of course, the last one that I got for you is digital detox. And please, please, please stop comparing. Employees who don't get paid time off or regularly a scheduled break from work are more likely to feel resentful and stressed. Try tracking to a schedule at work so that you know when you'll have downtime and so other people know when to expect that you're going. That's number 1. But with digital detox, I really, really, really want you to change your passwords every week if you can. You can do this with a friend where you change your password from Monday to Friday so that you're not on the digital media at all. And then for the weekends, ask them to give you the change password so that you could be on your social media for that time. This helps you to get a break and it helps you to have a digital detox. Another one is to put your phone away at a certain time during the evening. For example, if you're going to bed at 10 o'clock, put your phone away at 8 p.m., somewhere that you will not get up to go and get it, and just make it a habit where your phone is away and you do not need to be attached to your phone every single day and every moment. I hope that this helps. I look forward to having another podcast and video for you guys shortly. Have a fantastic day. God bless you, and remember who you are.